People going crazy think they found a code word for human meat. Wait, what? Hope you are feeling better. Did we analyze the jerky? Why didn't we get jerky this week? I also added more to the jerky and ginger lemongrass. Thank you so much. Super cool. Beef jerky, delicious. Jojo is here and we'll walk the jerky over to Jeffrey. We'll walk the jerky over to Jeffrey. Why would jerky walk around? Why would it do that? Delicious lunch, beef jerky. Steve and I are very grateful above all for your friendship. Some of these emails are so wholesome, aren't they? It's too bad they eat kids. A small insulated bag would be fine. I don't remember checking it. No need for crazy amounts of ice. One should do. There is one bag of beef jerky in the fridge. Please get it. Also, Blank has more at her place. Please get it from her as well. I suppose it needs to be in a cold, insulated bag. Just wanted to touch base about jerky. J.E. said he was going to start eating regular food again, so he might be eating less jerky. He said he has 6 bags of it in a downstairs freezer. Why would you freeze jerky? Steve needs a 6 to 8 ounce portion of jerky. I gave you all the jerky we had, and it lasted only half the amount of time it was meant to. I felt like it was more important for you to have the jerky to eat during my time off. My plan is to make a batch before I leave for LSJ, and some of that will go to Steve, and the rest will go to you at LSJ when I arrive. Little St. James Island. And that's what LSJ must mean. So logically, that means that they were doing this off of the island. Steve Hansen is sending jerky to your attention overnight. I believe it should be enough to get him through. Jeffrey Epstein is asking to bring him more jerky. I'm flying in on Friday. I will bring jerky. Is there a time I could come say hi and drop off the beef jerky? And that's from Jeffrey Epstein. Francis has time to come tomorrow. Show me how to make it. Jerky class anyone. He will bring you to taste his new jerky recipe from the restaurant. He sends a warm hello. He's working at a restaurant called guys, the restaurant's called Cannibal and Cooks. Wait for it. Beef jerky and steak. Can Blank make some jerky? I think we should landscape all around the house to use the water if possible. If the main house is not enough. Are there any recorded images of Jeffrey Epstein with beef jerky at all? No, there are no recorded or publicly known images of Jeffrey Epstein with beef jerky. Who sends beef jerky to a lab for analysis? Wait, what? I was looking for the beef jerky as I knew it was in my suitcase, and I thought that maybe I left it on the beach, only to find a small plastic bag near my dog's bed. I'll email Francis to make us some more, as I need 6 to 8 ounces to send to the lab, and I'll forward to Francis the info to send to the lab directly. Guys, I think something's going on. What's this here? Shirley, apparently it's his last girlfriend who's active on Twitter right now. Check the mail. Names for hers again. Oh boy, oh boy. People are saying this is Jeffrey Epstein's last girlfriend. And this is the same name as inside of the files. And her name change hasn't occurred since 2017, before the files released. After years of silence, the truth. Jeffrey was innocent. I really? Like, he just a good boy? He didn't do nothing wrong? Trapped by powerful people who silenced him. I was his last confidant, and I have the evidence that they're still hiding. I'm not suicidal, just in case. You'll know the whole truth soon. They sacrificed children to Lucifer. It's an entire cult. Jeffrey got involved in their operation for financial reasons and to obtain Comproprot, but never participated in the rituals. Oh, what is this here? I'll pull this one up and see it. That's crazy. She cooked in the brain? Maybe. She ate the brain? Yeah, maybe she did. Wire transfer request form. A 65-gallon... Guys, 655-gallon sulfuric acid with fuel and insurance charge? They are dissolving bodies.
They are dissolving
acid
bodies.
With fuel and insurance charge? They are dissolving bodies.
100%. They're dissolving bodies and they're eating bodies. All right? They all knew. The closer you get to these vampires, the more you become enslaved. All right? They all knew. Simple. Everyone's names that are in those emails, they all knew what was going on. They all knew. They were all part of that satanic cult, as the scripture says in Psalms chapter 10, verse 15. Break thou the arm of the wicked and the evil man. Seek out his wickedness till thou find none. Seek out his wickedness. because his wickedness is deep. It is absolutely deep. That was Psalms chapter 10, verse 15. Psalms chapter 7, verse 9. Oh, let the wickedness of the wicked come to an end, but establish the just, for the righteous of the Most High tries the hearts and reigns, right? Because their wickedness is going to come to an end. It's like Scripture says, that they shall make their own tongues to fall upon themselves, right? They shall make their own tongues to fall upon themselves. This is the book of Job, chapter 20. To chapter 20, I want. Chapter 20, because these are the wicked that the Bible speaks of. Job chapter 20, verse 4. Knowing thou not this of old, since man was placed upon the earth, that the triumphing of the wicked is short, and the joy of the hypocrite but for a moment. So let me show you the hypocrite, the absolute hypocrite. All right. This is their diamond, Noam Chomsky. This is their intellectual diamond. I hear what I think her name is Amanda Chu, something Chu. Hear what she's got to say. This is what Chris Hedges wrote about this devil, because his name was all over those files as well. This is like Esau's #1 intellectual. This is their go-to intellect.
Noam Chomsky, Jeffrey Epstein, and the Politics of Betrayal. Written by Chris Hedges for the Chris Hedges Report, chrishedges.substack.com. Read by Eunice Wong. I don't expect much from politicians, corporate tycoons, the presidents of prestigious universities, billionaire philanthropists, celebrities, royalty, or oligarchs. They live in narcissistic and hedonistic bubbles that cater to their self-worship and moral depravity.
She's absolutely right. They live in narcissistic, satanic, demonic bubbles. That's how they live, these devils. As we saw, jerky was the code word. Right? Jerky was the code word for eating children, for eating humans. Right? That was the code word, jerky. Right? They were saying, oh, come make some jerky. I think we should landscape all around the house. Get some jerky, they were saying, right? You saw the emails that the brother, that the Edomite was reading out. They said they're going to start eating regular food again, right? He said he just wanted to touch base about jerky, eating humans, cannibalism. And then Jeffrey Epstein replies, said he was going to start eating regular food again, so he might be eating less jerky. That said, he has 6 bags of it in the downstairs freezer for his next trip. That was the email, right? I believe it should be enough to get him through. That was one of the emails that they wrote, right? These are the wicked that the Bible speaks of. Truly understand who we're dealing with. And this is the intellect. This is one of the Chaldeans, the elite intellects of Esau society. But let me continue playing.
And hedonistic bubbles, celebrities, royalty, or oligarchs, prestigious universities, billionaire philanthropists, celebrities, royalty, or oligarchs. They live in narcissistic and hedonistic bubbles that cater to their self-worship and moral depravity. But I do expect a lot from intellectuals such as Noam Chomsky. The explanation by his wife, Valeria, Noam suffered a severe stroke in June 2023 and is incapacitated, of their relationship with Jeffrey Epstein is filled with the fatuous excuses used by all those who have been outed in the Epstein emails and documents. According to Valeria, she and Noam were overly trusting. This led to poor judgment. She writes that she and Noam were ensnared by dinners with luminaries at Epstein's mansion, flights on his private jet, nicknamed the Lolita Express, a literary reference that Noam would have recognized, financial assistance, trips to Epstein's ranch, and the use of one of Epstein's apartments in New York. Like everyone else outed in the Epstein files, she and Noam never witnessed any inappropriate behavior from Epstein or others.
That's everyone's using the same playbook now. Oh, we didn't see anything. There's that saying, right? There's nothing to see here. Keep calm and carry on, right? That's the old British saying. There's nothing to see here. Keep calm and carry on. These devils, boy.
Noam's advice to Epstein on how to handle press inquiries into his crimes, like Noam's letter of recommendation for Epstein, was, she insists, the result of Epstein's taking advantage of Noam's public criticism towards what came to be known as cancel culture to present himself as a victim of it. After Epstein's second arrest in 2019, she and Noam were careless in not thoroughly researching his background. She ends by expressing unrestricted solidarity with the victims. Her letter regurgitates the formula of everyone outed in the Epstein files. I know and have long admired Noam. He is arguably our greatest and most principled intellectual. I can assure you he is not as passive or gullible as his wife claims.
Of course not. This is Esau's top intellectuals. All of a sudden, he's playing dumb. I didn't know that they were eating humans, eating babies, sacrificing. We just saw the video. If you didn't see the video at the beginning of this edification, I implore you to go to the beginning of this edification and review the video. Jerky was the key word that they were using for their cannibalism. They even had a restaurant called Cannibalism. So now they're all playing innocent. Everyone's dumb. This is Esau's. This is the intellects of Esau. Noam Chomsky. That's their go-to man. All of a sudden, he's lost his bearings.
He knew about Epstein's abuse of children. They all knew. And like others in the Epstein orbit, he did not care. From the email correspondence between Epstein and Valeria, it appears she particularly enjoyed the privileges that came with being in Epstein's circle. But this doesn't absolve Noam's acquiescence. Noam, of all people, knows the predatory nature of the ruling class and the cruelty of capitalists, where the vulnerable, especially girls and women, are commodified as objects to be used and exploited.
We always tell you, Esau controls both sides. Both sides they control. They control the left, the right. They control both sides of the coin. They got the ones that are playing the innocent, so, I'm there for the average John and Jane Doe, and they've got the ones that are in the elite roles, that are playing the elite roles. They control both sides. Chomsky was on the other side, but he was controlled by these devils just like the rest of them, because he is one of these devils. He is one of the devils, Chomsky.
He wasn't fooled by Epstein. He was seduced. His association with Epstein is a terrible and, to many, unforgivable stain. It irreparably tarnishes his legacy. If there is a lesson here, it is this. The ruling class offers nothing without...
Absolutely right. The ruling class offers nothing without wanting something in return. They offer nothing, the ruling class, nothing. But we've always known this. And most people know this, but they're quite happy to sacrifice whatever they need to sacrifice to be part of that ruling class. Most people know this, but they're quite happy to sacrifice, whether it's a child, a family member, mother, father, brother, sister, whatever they need to do. They're happy to do it, to be part of that ruling class, to be part of that elite class.
It is this. The ruling class offers nothing without expecting something in return.
Mm-hmm.
The closer you get to these vampires, the more you become enslaved.
The closer you get to these vampires, the more you become enslaved. Because that's what they are. They're literal vampires. They're not symbolic vampires. They are literal vampires.
Our role is not to socialize with them.
Mm-hmm.
It is to destroy them.
To destroy them. And this is what we do with the scriptures. Our role is not to socialize with them, all right? Our role is not to placate them, right? To pacify them. Our role is to destroy them by using the scriptures, spiritual, right? So we don't do this through any physical means. We do it through the Bible. We expose them through the scriptures. And then we let the wheels of motion just roll. So our role is to destroy these people, and we do it spiritually through the Bible. Let me just play that.
Is not vampires. The more something in return. The ruling class offers nothing without expecting something in return. The closer you get to these vampires, the more you become enslaved. Our role is not to socialize with them. It is to destroy them. That was
100% to destroy them. So let's go back to the scriptures. So just like I said, all right, I already played this. I'm not going to play it again, but I'm just going to just so you can see again. This is the email. And he showed you dozens of them. And I showed you all of them at the beginning of this edification. He said, I just wanted to touch base about jerky. Jerky is the code word for human bodies, right? For eating humans, babies. J.E., which is Jeffrey Epstein, said he was going to start eating regular food again, all right? So he might be eating less jerky. So regular food, right, is food, right? Whatever you want to call it, whether it's vegetarian, whether it's carnivore, you know, meat like lamb, beef, you know, whether it's chicken, fish, you know, whether it's vegetarian meals, whether it's bread, cereal, that's regular food, right? Less jerky. That's the children that they were eating. The people, these were cannibals. That said, he has 6 bags of it in their downstairs freezer for his next trip. Who freezes actual jerky to take on a trip? Right? Those beef jerky strips that you can buy in the shops. These are human bodies, as the Edomites made clear. I believe it should be enough to get him through. Any other questions, please let me know. Thank you, Francis. This is who you're dealing with. These are the devil that the Bible speaks of. So Numsky was one of them. All right? Just like we said here. The triumphing of the wicked is short, and the joy of the hypocrite, because that's what Numsky was, a hypocrite. He was playing like he was the people's, you know, like the people's man, the people's choice. He was one of the elites. He was just on the other side. The joy of the hypocrite is but for a moment. Though his excellency mounts up to the heavens and his heads reach unto the clouds, yet he shall perish forever like his own dung. That's going to be their end. They which have seen him shall say, where is he? He shall fly away as a dream and shall not be found. Yea, he shall be chased away as a vision of the night. The eye also which saw him shall see him no more, neither shall his place any more behold him. Neither shall his place any more behold him. Numsky and Epstein and all of the rest of them. And remember, the information that they are showing you, all right? Remember, the FBI gathered 15 terabytes of data information, right? 15 terabytes of data they gathered of information. They gathered 15. They've only released 300 gigabytes. Now, 300 gigabytes of 15 terabytes, that works out to 2% of the information. So the FBI have only released 2%. Those 1.5 million, is it 1.5 million or 3 million files that they've released, only represents 2% of all of the data that they gathered on the Jeffrey Epstein case saga. 2%. So what's in the other 98% that they're not released? We're going to see. Let's go back to Job. His children shall seek to please the poor, and his hands shall restore their goods. And this is what they're going to try and do. They're on a damage control. Damage control, these devils. But it's not going to work. Because like the scripture says, right? He shall make his own tongue to fall upon himself. Kingdom shall rise against kingdom and nation against nation. His bones are full of the sin of his youth, which shall lie down with him in the dust. The wickedness be sweet in his mouth, though he hide it under his tongue. The wickedness be sweet in his mouth, and he hide it under his tongue. Part of that wickedness was this. They was eating humans, babies, children. And the code word was jerky. Jerky. Jeffrey Epstein said he was gonna start eating regular food again, so we might be eating less jerky, less humans. Go back to the beginning of the video, you see all of these emails that I spoke about. Salaki family. There you go. Yeah. Yeah. About how far? Wow. Salaki, I had to take that call. I was waiting for it, you see, so I had to take it. But Salaki for that family. So, as you can see, this is what they were doing. Openly. So we go back here. It says, though wickedness be sweet in his mouth, eating those human babies, those babies were sweet in their mouth, though he hide it under his tongue. Literally, man. That wickedness was sweet in his mouth, and he hide it under his tongue. Literally, that devil, that's what they were doing. Though he spare it and forsake it not, but keep it still within his mouth. Yet his meat in his bowels is turned. It is the gall of asp within him. He has swallowed down riches. This is what they have done. And he shall vomit them up again, because he's gonna lose everything that he has gathered for these last days. These Edomites, these elites are gonna lose it. Because when the Lord comes back, he's gonna strip them of every single gold, silver, diamond, pearls, everything that has intrinsic value. He can keep his dollars and his euros and his pounds and his rubles and his yuans. They're not gonna be worth shit. In the kingdom, we're going to be going back to gold and silver. Watch and see. The Most High shall cast them out of his belly. He shall suck the poison of asp. The viper's tongue shall slay him. He shall not see the rivers, the floods, the brooks of the honey and the butter. He ain't going to see the promised land. This devil, unless he's coming out with a work permit. That which he labored for, he shall restore, and shall not swallow it down. According to his substance shall the restitution be. This is when we're going to get the restitution. We keep talking about reparations now. Forget about reparations from these devils. They want to give reparations to every other nation. They gave reparations to the Japanese, reparations to the Chinese, reparations to the small hats, right? They gave reparations to every other nation, but not to the people who they enslaved, not to the true children of Israel. We're going to get the restitution in the kingdom. In the kingdom, when the Lord Yahushua comes back to establish the kingdom of heaven and earth, that's when we're going to get that restitution. According to his substance shall the restitution be, and he shall not rejoice therein, because he's going to lose everything. Everything that he has stored up, he is going to lose. Truly understand this. Because what? Because he has oppressed and has forsaken the poor. Who are the poor? The true children of Israel. Because he has violently taken away a house which he buildeth not. And this is what this man did. He took away our house is really the promised land. He's violently taken the promised land away from us. And even when the northern kingdom, the 10 lost tribes, when they came to the Americas, what did they do? The Edomites came along, 2,000 years later, 2,200 years later, and violently took away their house that they established for 2,200 years before these Edomites turned up in the late 15th century. Surely he shall not feel quietness in his belly. He shall not save of that which he desired. There shall none of his meat be left. Therefore shall no man look for his goods. In the fullness of his sufficiency, he shall be in straits in so much. And this is what he's at. He is literally at the fullness of his sufficiency. And right now, you're seeing this man is in straits. Right now, they don't know which way to look. I know some people say, oh, the Epstein files are a distraction. Yeah, they are playing a distraction, but it's a reality. That everything this man is doing is just coming out. They can't stop the leak. In the fullness of his sufficiency, he shall be in straits. So the fullness of his sufficiency is really going to be when the microchip, the MOTB, goes global. Every hand of the wicked shall come upon them. That word wicked there is laborer. Doesn't mean the actual wicked. That word wicked there, just quickly show you, means the laborer. Every hand of the blue collar worker, white collar worker, as you're seeing take place, is going to come upon him. Amal.
Strong's H 6001. A male. A male.
See? Laborer, workman. It's not talking about the actual wicked. Every hand of the laborer, blue collar worker, white collar worker, middle class family, average working class family, the workman is going to come against him. And we're seeing it. We are seeing it. But it's going to get to a point of no return. When he is about to fill his belly, the Most High shall cast the fury of his wrath upon him and shall rain it upon him while he is eating. He shall flee from the iron weapon. The iron weapon is the ultimate end, the intercontinental ballistic missile. And the bow of steel shall strike him through. Those are the missiles. That's the end game for Esau, for Babylon the Great. It is drawn and cometh out of the body, which is the silo, comes out of the ground, out of the silo. Yea, the glittering sword is the intercontinental ballistic missiles. That is the end game for Esau. After the chip goes global, this is the end game. The glittering sword cometh out of its gall. Terrors are upon him. All darkness shall be hid in his secret places. A fire not blown shall consume him. That fire is the nuclear fallout, the nuclear cloud, the mushroom cloud. It shall go ill with him that is left in his tabernacle, right? Because many people are going to be trying to hide in their bunkers. Only certain bunkers are going to survive that destruction, you know. The elites of the elites, but most of the elites are going to have left. They're going to have left America already. The heaven shall reveal his iniquity, and that's what we're seeing right now. The heaven is truly revealing this man's iniquity. And the earth shall rise up against him. And that's what we are seeing. The earth is rising up against Esau. The earth is rising up against Babylon the Great. And the heavens are truly revealing this man's wickedness. The increase of his house shall depart, and his goods shall flow away in the day of his wrath. This is the portion of a wicked man from the Most High, Yahweh, and the heritage appointed unto him by the Most High, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. Yahweh is the Father, Yahweh Shai is the Son. This is the portion for that wicked man. This is what they were doing, man. This is what they were doing. So I'm going to finish it there, family. As always, I want to give all the praises and the glory to the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, and to his only begotten Son, Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the apostles, to the elders, the bishops of Great Millstone. Shalom to you, shalom to the 144,000, and shalom to the hopefully elect brothers and sisters of the house of Israel that are scattered to the four corners of the world. As we always tell you, this thing of ours is not, this thing of Yahweh Shai is not about color. It's about the true children of Israel that are scattered to the four corners of the world, mixed amongst the other nations. We look like the other nations, but we know the 12 tribes are based where? In the United States of America, Babylon the Great, where the great deliverance will take place. And then the rest of the 12 tribes are scattered to the four corners of the world. They will be gathered by Yahweh Shai and the angels. So if you're not of the children of Israel, if you're not of the elect of the children of Israel, then you're not going to be part of the ruling body of the kingdom of heaven when it comes to earth when the Lord comes back. It's as simple as that. The earth is not going to be destroyed. It is the rulership that's going to be destroyed. And the kingdom of heaven will be established on earth. And the people that will be ruling the kingdom of heaven are going to be the children of Israel, the Hebrew Israelites, starting with the elect of the Lord's people. So anyway, shalom, 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 family. All praises.